Thank you all for listening and watching my videos. Please subscribe and like my channel Master Coolitz. Hoping that you will not skip my ads. It's a big help for me by not skipping it. Thank you so much.
In Kintyre County, whispers of legendary opportunities and insurmountable challenges filled the air. Zane Martell, an eager and talented young warrior, found himself at the precipice of destiny. His heart pounded with excitement as he stood beside Hugh, masking his thoughts behind a serious facade. What is he so excited about? He has no idea what he's getting into. Hugh glanced at Zane, a mix of curiosity and apprehension in his gaze.
Master, what are the entry qualifications for Titan Academy?
In half a month, the Hall of the Holy Sword will hold the selection for the King's Sword's candidate. Both of you, hailing from the Hall and having reached the realm of Heart-Sword integration, are eligible. But remember, there is only one spot. Whoever becomes the candidate will be qualified as an outer disciple of Titan Academy.
Zane's mind raced, recalling what he had heard from Kurt Jensen in the Valley of Sealed Swords. This selection was not just a test of skill, but a chance to claim the blood essence of the 5 divine beasts sealed beneath the King's Sword. This essence promised unimaginable power, elevating the 5 Spirit sect to new heights. A surge of fighting spirit overcame them, shaking their bodies. Even Xavier and the others felt the tension. It was the inevitable friction of warriors destined to clash.
I understand. I'll take my leave first.
Zane rose and left the Dragon Spiral Hall, his determination burning like a beacon. The hall's grand architecture seemed to echo his steps. The other elders and the dean also departed, leaving Lane as the last to leave. He called out to Hugh, his face impassive.
Master Lane, please wait.
Master Lane, the situation is as you predicted. I need to speak with you.
Lane interrupted him, glancing around cautiously.
This is not a good place to talk. Follow me.
The two men separated, heading in different directions to avoid attention. They met half an hour later in a secluded mountain stream, shrouded in darkness and the sound of running water. In the dim light, Hugh appeared anxious, bowing deeply.
Master Lane, Zane is incredibly talented. I'm 70% sure I can defeat him, but I don't want to take any chances.
Lane listened, a sinister smile creeping across his face.
So you're willing to become a spy for the Devil Flame sect?
Hugh flinched at the mention of the Devil Flame sect. The powerful 5 Spirit sect had been infiltrated to its core. Despite his reluctance, Hugh couldn't deny Zane's rapid rise in talent, cultivation, and connections. Without Lane's help, defeating Zane seemed impossible.
How did it come to this? Betraying my sect, my comrades, but I can't let Zane overshadow me.
If you walk away today, there will be no place for you when the Devil Flame sect swallows the 5 Spirit sect. But if you agree, I guarantee you will win the candidate position and become an elder when the Devil Flame sect rises.
The promise of power and resources as an elder was too tempting. Hugh hesitated but eventually succumbed.
All right, I agree, but Zane is growing too fast. We need to get rid of him.
Don't worry, I've already sent someone to deal with him. Zane won't see tomorrow's sun.
Relief washed over Hugh, believing Zane's fate was sealed. After leaving the Dragon Spiral Hall, Zane headed to the Hall of Foreign Affairs. His mind was preoccupied with his promise to Amara. He needed to secure her position as an official disciple, having amassed over 50,000 contribution points. As he entered the hall, he called out loudly,
Vaniel, where are you?
Vaniel, irritated by the disturbance, emerged from the inner hall.
Who dares to be so presumptuous in the Hall of Foreign Affairs?
It's me, Zane.
Vaniel's demeanor changed instantly, his anger replaced by an ingratiating smile.
Zane, I've witnessed your achievements since the sect competition. What brings you here today? Are you taking on a new task?
No, I'm here to exchange for a disciple token.
Vaniel's face lit up with surprise and admiration, as Zane's request hinted at another step towards greatness. The hall buzzed with anticipation, but beneath the surface, dark plots and dangerous rivals were closing in. The air thickened with unspoken threats. Zane handed over the contribution points, a tangible testament to his hard work and dedication. Vaniel's fingers danced over the counters, tallying the points with practiced ease.
Zane, with your talents, you could aim even higher. Why invest so much in someone else?
Amara deserves this chance. She's proven her loyalty and potential. We rise together or not at all.
Vaniel nodded, a flicker of respect in his eyes. He handed Zane the disciple token. With the token in hand, Zane felt relief. Yet his thoughts couldn't fully settle. The journey ahead was fraught with challenges. Outside, the world grew darker. Zane stepped out of the hall, the cool evening air brushing against his skin. The stars began to twinkle above. What neither Zane nor his allies knew was that tonight, under the cover of darkness, an assassin approached, intent on ensuring Zane never saw the light of day again. In the quiet halls of Titan Academy, the tension was palpable. Friends could be foes, and the promise of power dangled like a sword over Zane's head. Would he survive the night? And if he did, what new dangers awaited him at dawn? As shadows gathered and the night deepened, the question remained, who could Zane trust when betrayal lurked at every corner? The fight for the King's Sword's candidacy was just beginning, and only the strongest would survive. Zane's footsteps echoed as he made his way back to his quarters. His thoughts were a whirlwind of plans and strategies, each one more desperate than the last. The upcoming selection loomed large in his mind, a monumental challenge he had to overcome. Hidden in the shadows, the assassin watched, eyes gleaming with malicious intent. Every movement was calculated, every breath controlled. The assassin's mission was clear: eliminate Zane before dawn. Zane, oblivious to the immediate danger, continued on his path. His thoughts drifted back to his conversation with Hugh and their master. The words of his master echoed in his mind, a reminder of the high stakes and the immense rewards that awaited the successful candidate.
I can't afford to falter now. The Titan Academy, the King's Sword's candidacy, it's all within reach. I just need to stay focused.
As he approached his quarters, a sudden chill ran down his spine. The air seemed to grow colder, the shadows darker. An instinct honed from years of training kicked in, alerting him to the presence of danger. He paused, scanning the area with narrowed eyes. The courtyard was silent. His hand instinctively moved to the hilt of his sword, fingers tightening around the grip. The assassin, seeing the moment of hesitation, decided to strike. A swift movement, a glint of steel, and the silence was shattered by the clash of blades. Zane reacted with lightning speed, his training and reflexes saving him from a fatal blow.
Who are you?
The assassin remained silent, a shadowy figure cloaked in darkness. The fight was intense, each clash of their swords sending sparks into the night. Zane's heart pounded, adrenaline surging through his veins. He could feel the assassin's skill, each move precise and deadly.
I can't let this end here. I have too much to fight for.
Drawing on every ounce of his strength and skill, Zane fought back with relentless determination. The battle seemed to stretch on for an eternity, each second a testament to his will to survive. Finally, with a decisive strike, Zane managed to disarm the assassin, sending the weapon clattering to the ground. The assassin stumbled back, clutching a wounded arm, and disappeared into the night. Breathing heavily, Zane stood alone in the courtyard, the reality of the situation sinking in. He had survived the night, but the dangers were far from over. The fight for the King's Sword's candidacy had only just begun, and he knew that the path ahead would be fraught with even greater challenges. As the first light of dawn began to break, Zane looked up at the sky, a renewed sense of purpose in his eyes. He was ready for whatever came next, determined to face every obstacle with the same unwavering resolve. In the quiet halls of Titan Academy, the tension was palpable. Friends could be foes, and the promise of power dangled like a sword over Zane's head. Would he survive the night? And if he did, what new dangers awaited him at the break of dawn? As shadows gathered and the night deepened, the question remained: who could Zane trust when betrayal lurked at every corner? The fight for the King's Sword's candidacy was just beginning, and only the strongest would survive.
A disciple token? You sure about this, kid? That's 50 grand in crystals we're talking about. You could buy yourself a small army with that kind of cash.
Vaniel's concern was palpable. For a practitioner in the foundation level, 50,000 crystals was an astronomical sum.
Just think about it. At an auction house, you could score some serious pills or weapons. We're talking major power boost here.
But Zane's resolve was unshakable. A promise was a promise after all.
My mind's made up. Let's do this.
With a resounding thud, Zane placed Prince Jorah's storage ring on the table. Inside, exactly 50,000 crystals glittered, each one a testament to his determination. Seeing Zane's unwavering resolve, Vaniel knew further argument was futile. The disciple token materialized, a crystal-clear object no larger than half a palm. Intricate runes danced across its surface, a mesmerizing display of mystical energy. As Zane grasped the token, its weight seemed to mirror the heaviness in his heart. 50,000 crystals, gone in an instant.
There goes my fortune. But a promise is a promise, and Amara is worth every crystal.
With his mission accomplished, Zane bid farewell to the Hall of Foreign Affairs and set off for home. As Zane approached his residence, anticipation bubbled within him. It had been over 10 days since he'd last been home.
Amara, get out here. I've got a surprise that'll knock your socks off.
But it wasn't Amara who emerged. Instead, Elora appeared, her face etched with worry.
Elora? What's the deal? Hanging out with Amara? Where is she anyway? I've got awesome news. Traded in my crystals for a disciple token. She can be an official disciple now.
But Elora's expression didn't mirror Zane's excitement. She held an unopened letter in her hand, anxiety clear in her eyes.
Zane, Amara was gone when I got here. She left this letter on her desk. It says you have to open it yourself, so I didn't.
A letter? For me? From Amara?
As Zane's eyes scanned the contents of the letter, his expression morphed from confusion to shock, then to unbridled fury. The air around Zane crackled with energy. Tiny bolts of lightning, no thicker than a hair, danced across his skin. His aura pulsed with the rage of a caged beast about to be unleashed. His mind suddenly became blank and his eyes widened. He clenched his fists and a strong killing intent overflowed. The letter said, Zane Martell, your precious Amara is in my hands now. If you don't want her to die, come to Thousand Trees Mountain alone.
Who dares? Who's got the guts to take Amara?
Zane's mind raced. There weren't many who would dare to challenge him like this. Alex White? Hugh? If it was Hugh, he might stand a chance. But if Alex White was behind this, he'd be walking into a death trap. The thing that Zane hated the most in his life was for others to attack his family and friends, even if just a hair on their back was harmed. Elora skimmed the contents of the letter and was a little panicked. She held his hand and spoke in a worried manner.
Zane, there must be a trap in it. You will fall into it if you go there alone.
However, Zane shook his head. Even if it was a trap, he must still jump into it. But the letter said that he could only go alone.
Elora, I've got to go alone, but I need you to do something crucial.
Anything, Zane. What do you need?
Find Master Xavier. Tell him what's happened and get him here as fast as possible. I've got a bad feeling about this. Whoever's behind it is no ordinary opponent.
Despite her reluctance to let Zane face this danger alone, Elora nodded and hurried off to find their master. With Elora gone, Zane set off for Thousand Trees Mountain, his heart heavy, but his resolve unshakable. Thousand Trees Mountain loomed in the distance, a place of legend and mystery. Located at the edge of Betrayal Mountain, far from the Five Spirits sect, it was a level unto itself. Ancient trees, each centuries old, reached skyward, their dense canopy blocking out the sun and creating a world of perpetual twilight below. Zane's journey to Thousand Trees Mountain was a blur of landscapes. Forests, fields, and streams passed beneath his feet in a dizzying kaleidoscope. His body moved with a grace that defied normal human limitations, each step propelling him forward with the force of a coiled spring. To an observer, Zane would have appeared as nothing more than a streak of light, there one moment and gone the next. His mastery of cultivation techniques had transformed him into a force of nature, as unstoppable as a raging river and as swift as a bolt of lightning. After half a day of relentless travel, he finally arrived at Thousand Trees Mountain. The air was thick with tension and the eerie quiet of a forest holding its breath. Zane's eyes scanned his surroundings, taking in every detail. With a powerful leap, he ascended one of the towering trees, gaining a bird's-eye view of the area. His spirit eyes activated, granting him superhuman vision. The entire mountain came into focus, every leaf, insect, and grain of dust crystal clear in his perception. Suddenly, his body tensed. His enhanced vision had spotted two shadowy figures hiding about half a kilometer away.
Got you.
In one fluid motion, Zane Martel knocked an arrow to his purplish gold bow and let it fly. The arrow sliced through the air with incredible force, piercing through tree trunks as if they were paper. It hurtled towards the hidden figures with deadly accuracy. But just as the arrow was about to find its mark, a hand shot out from behind a tree, catching it mid-flight. As the figure stepped out from hiding, Zane's blood ran cold. It was none other than Murphy.
Murphy? How is this possible? The beef with Leslie Mendoza wasn't this serious. Why would he...
As Murphy emerged from his hiding place, the air seemed to thicken with malevolent energy. The very trees around them appeared to lean away, as if sensing the impending clash of powerful forces.
Well, well, if it isn't the rising star of the Azure Dragon Academy. Enjoying our little game of cat and mouse, Zane?
This is no game, Murphy. Where's Amara? What's your end game here? Let her go. If you do, I might be able to get the sect to go easy on you.
As he spoke, Zane's fingers subtly brushed against his storage ring, ready for action at a moment's notice.
End game. Oh, you naive little cultivator. This is just the beginning. As for going easy, I'm afraid you won't be leaving here alive to do any pleading, boy.
As he spoke, Murphy's face contorted with malice. He thrust his palm forward, unleashing a devastating attack. A gust of wind erupted from Murphy's palm, coalescing into a massive, ethereal hand that bore down on Zane with crushing force.
Second move of the 3-star step.
Zane's form blurred as he executed his evasive technique, narrowly avoiding the brunt of the attack. As he dodged, Zane's mind raced. This opponent was far stronger than any he had faced before. One misstep could mean his end. The force of Murphy's attack shattered the trunk between them, sending splinters flying in all directions. As Zane retreated, his spirit eyes locked onto Murphy. Vital energy surged through his body, and 10 white runes materialized on his skin.
Iron body activate. Great precision shot.
3 purplish gold arrows burst forth, their flight accompanied by crackling thunder. They streaked towards Murphy with deadly precision.
Ha! You think such a paltry trick can save you from me? How naive!
Murphy's hand shot out, easily catching the first arrow, but his moment of triumph was short-lived. The second and third arrows, following closely behind, found their mark. They pierced Murphy's palm and grazed his cheek, nearly taking out his eye.
Ah!
Blood flowed from the 2 puncture wounds, and the killing intent in Murphy's eyes intensified. The battle has only just begun, and already the stakes are life and death.